My name is Alanna Ojibway. I am a Hartford resident and have been involved with the Justice Center here for just about 10 years in different capacities, starting as a volunteer and then evolving into now working also as a member on the board. And my work outside of that is the Assistant Director of Education and Outreach with the National Center on Restorative Justice. When I first got involved, I was working on sort of a pilot program with a woman who was involved with one of the COSA programs, and I wasn't on her COSA, but as part of that, she was really interested in working on and building in fitness as part of her accountability and sobriety work. And so I was working in partnership to kind of launch this pilot program to support sort of exercise and fitness as part of COSA programming and support. So I grew up in this community and had, before the work that I'm doing now with the National Center on Restorative Justice, had done a variety of different roles in this area in social services. And in a lot of those different roles, whether it was with mental health or homelessness or substance use, I found that we were literally serving the same families and individuals again and again and again in these different issues, and so much of it was in response to these cycles of needs and harms and things that people were continuing to endure, and they were these cycles of generational poverty and things that were not getting addressed in the social services that we were providing. So I became really interested in who was doing what I sort of thought of as like upstream work, who was doing that healing work that was really looking at like the root causes of these same issues that we were seeing so many individuals, a lot of them also involved in the justice system and in reentry, just kept seeing those cycles and really wanting to have a role in work that was looking at prevention at a very early point rather than always sort of in response to problems that have come up. So that's how I sort of got involved in that work more locally, and then had become interested in volunteering with the Justice Center outside of my professional role. I think some of the biggest changes I've seen since I've been here is just the depth of programming and who's been involved in the programs. So whether that's been changes in volunteers or staffing, I think the sort of range of the ways that the community has become involved in the work that's happening and supporting the work through, all kinds of ways that different community organizations and individuals are getting involved in supporting the work. Growth in, the individuals that we're able to support through different programs, the transitional housing and sort of partnerships through stabilizing housing for individuals. So it's grown, I guess. I think the biggest thing, though, that I've seen that's noticeable is the presence and how the community's involved in the work and those types of partnerships to support the work. The thing that makes this work different than the way people move through the traditional justice system is that it is involving and reliant on the community. How important community is to restorative justice work, it's like how important sunshine is to plant growing. It's like that is the life source, I think, of this type of work, because it relies on a community. It relies on community to be a part of the process. It involves community in making individuals feeling a part of the community and feeling whole. One of the biggest things that I talk about and have seen in my work that's just unique in our state as a whole is that, having this model where every county has a justice center is incredibly unique. And then Hartford's Justice Center in particular, with sort of being one of these leading programs in the pilot program for Circles of Peace and just the long-standing relationships with the different community providers and with transitional housing. Those things are definitely unique to Hartford. Just the ways that it continues to sort of grow and be enmeshed in the community is not necessarily the case for certainly other programs around the country.